Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so let's jump on into a single storyline because it is Friday, and I try to put these out on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So let's go ahead and get started. We have got the Six of Swords. I'm sorry, do I have? I feel like I have. I just came in from outside. I feel like I've got stuff. I don't even know what that was, but gooed on my face. We have a Six of Swords. Okay, so sorry about the personal grooming there. Six of Swords says somebody might be moving on, but admittedly, there's some sorrow. Hi, everyone. Great to see you. Happy Friday, guys. With the sun. We have the death and rebirth. Okay, so definitely this looks like a character. I don't know whether or not we'll call them a masculine or a feminine just yet, but we do start out with the energy of a feminine who's had some sorrows, but it's like the sun will shine again, and indeed it actually already is. I think things are getting much better for this character, much lighter, much brighter, although it has admittedly been very difficult, very hard for her. She went through a significant ending. Now, I don't know yet about these two masculines that we see, um, both on their knees in prayer. So let's take a quick peek there. Is this two different masculines that feel like they've lost her love? You know, they always say that's the biggest tragedy, right? Is that we'll never know how many people actually love us, think of us, because, I mean, right now, I'm sure every single person on earth is walking around with somebody in their heart, right? Somebody that we're not, telling I love you. And yet we feel that way about someone. And so it stands to reason that right now on this earth, there's somebody that loves every single one of us also that hasn't said it. Or there's somebody, an ex that thinks of us. There's somebody out there. In this case, there's two somebodies who both kind of have a prayer about her. They both think she doesn't love them anymore. And I'm going to say maybe she was, I mean, this is pretty devastating, right? There's a real painful loss here, and again, a real painful loss here. So can I ask, who are the two people that are both feeling like, what? Let me change my questioning. What is it that they're sending prayers up for? Page of Swords, Seven of Wands. So certainly one of them, if he could find a way to get through these blockages, he wishes that he could. The other one is spying on her and seeing her start fresh. They might wish that they could have a fresh start with her as well, but mostly they're noticing that, there she is. She's changed so much. I can see her looking really good. She seems really happy. She seems really successful. The other one on this card, and I don't really know who is who necessarily, but one of them seems certainly more determined to believe that maybe there's a way that eventually they could be back in her life. But admittedly, he does have his back to this whole thing. But that Seven of Wands, I mean, we got the stack of books here, like he has learned a huge lesson out of this. But he's sending up prayers about, how to overcome a struggle in regards to her. He may be the one who's actually hurting the most over her. Just because if he's sending up a prayer, and I just say that because they're both in prayer positions, right? So crazy that there's two people sending up prayers about her, and I don't know, does she know any of this? Anisha Chateau, are you in Sicily, babe? Oh, I'm so happy for you. I love Sicily. Just love Sicily. Oh, I have such wonderful memories there. Taormina and Greek theater and Isabella and wonderful. Catania. We've got this Six of Wands. Does she know this? I would say on this, she doesn't know it. She's busy actually finding success in her life. If anything, we saw her with the Six of Swords, and now we see her with the Six of Wands. Now, this could be her saying, look, I'm moving on and I'm getting happier every day. And, I'm going to, the death and rebirth, like I'm feeling better and I'm feeling more successful. But she may also assume that they're out there super happy, super great, whomever these individuals are. She does not know that they are thinking of her. She's just thinking about her own life and her own moving forward. Three of Wands in the reverse, she's just living in her present energy. So she has no clue that there are two exes of hers, both of whom actually have it way worse than she does. She's in a way better place. So our lead character, who is single, is actually in a much better place. And if she does not know this, doesn't have any inkling, which is what we see here, that she does not have any knowledge, that there are two exes who think very heavily of her, even to the point of sending out little prayers about her. Would that surprise her to find that out? I just think it's interesting that they still think about that. We have Page of Coins and we have Knight of Swords. Would it surprise her to know that? Yeah, with the light bulb. Actually, it might even be like, good. Because we got this little list. Like, good. I hope that they miss. Oh gosh, what's that song? It's a country song. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You'll miss my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. It's really repetitious, by the way. That if I start saying it, it'll be kind of like 99 bottles of beer on the wall. So I'm not going to start quoting it because it's quite a repetitious thing, and then it's going to be in my head all night. So I'm going to move on. But that song is in my head right now. So I do feel like, good. Yeah, that's great. Oh, do they miss me? Do they think of me? Awesome. I hope I freaking plague their dreams. I don't think she's vindictive, but we see she's like, good. There's a whole laundry list of stuff that I did, that I tried to do my best. And if they miss those things, good. I hope that I flit through their minds all the freaking time. I hope I'm the blockage. I'm the mountain, that they choose to become better people. If my exes remember me and they remember the list of things that happened, I hope that they figure out how to like treat the next person better. Something along those lines. I hope that they remember every freaking detail. Look, sorry, she's got like a little, she's got just a little tiny bit of spice to her. It doesn't look mean. It's not like, oh, I hope that they're crying over me. She's hoping that they do something different moving on, that they make some changes. Because I don't know. Is there anybody that you would want back out of this? Hail to the no. We got the Two of Coins in the reverse. Literally, look at this. I don't want the cowboy hat and I don't want the baseball cap. No, I don't want to make peace with him. No, I don't want to make peace with him. Nope. And I'm not even trying to pick between the two of them, which one was, better or worse. Nope. Don't want either one of them. Okay. So she's definitely, on one hand, maybe it's nice for her to know a little bit that they have not forgotten her. But as far as her even considering them again, no, she's not. So they are correct. Both of them are very correct that she did withdraw her love from them. She might have been a very loving Queen of Cups at one point in time, and they both know that she doesn't love them anymore. And they're right. They're right on the money with that. Can I just see, why do we even have to have this come up at all? Like it just, I'm wondering, did meeting her have lasting impact maybe in their like we all influence each other, right? Every character influences each other somehow, some way. Yeah. In fact, if they had arguments and fights with her, they may both perhaps have met somebody who was extremely intelligent. Anytime we see lightning, I always think of lightning as, neurons. And when we see lightning strike specifically, it's like, damn, she just cut to the heart of that. And then like mic drop moment. I think she may have told each one of them off in a different way. We see her walking away twice. All of this keeps saying that she had two different lovers. Maybe she had the misfortune of dating two people that both did something similar, something that was unacceptable. And maybe she told them both where to go. Or I doubt it was that, honestly. If she had been really, really loving, really transparent, really soft, and then had to use a lightning bolt to speak a truth, I'm thinking it was a truth that was like, you can't even argue. If you're creating drama with me, I'm going to give you the actual truth about what's going on here. Like, she called them out, but I'm not going to say that she said it like, she got all up in their faces and, called them bad names. And they were like, wow, she's a pirate. Like, I don't think it was that. I think that she spoke like a truth that was, incontestable. And there are truths that change our life when somebody tells us something that is point blank. And if it came from somebody that they admittedly loved her at different points and she loved them at some point in time, and they know that she typically was really kind, and then she's got to go ahead and give pushback, and she has to say something really blunt and really true, and that shuts down the fight. Both of them may have had that same moment of awakening because she told them something, maybe a very harsh truth that they needed to hear. They obviously are on the knees praying over her. So it's not like they're like, wow, what a monster. Can you believe what she said to us? No, in fact, each one of them might have realized this was a really divine counterpart. Two of Cups. Now, this is wild, and I'm so sorry that we've got all these X things going on here. When she's just like, what are you talking about? I don't care about X's. She does not know that each one of them thinks of her as their Two of Cups. Certainly one of them in particular, but she impacted both of them in a very similar way with that lightning bolt of truth. Even here with the divine standing here, right? The death and rebirth, she's like, oh, it's so over. I never want to talk to either of them again. But she doesn't know that she was left exhausted by this. So I'm wondering if she was like a teacher to each of them. I always think of it like this. Anybody who's ever been a teacher, I'm sure, goes home exhausted at the end of the day. And it's because you stood there and you gave of yourself all day long. Whether you're teaching adults, whether you're teaching kids, whether you're teaching, like employees at work, how to use the ice cream machine, it doesn't matter. You're the one, on the stage, giving the instructions, watching everybody like hawks, trying to help them learn. That's a lot of your attention and your giving of yourself. So then you end up exhausted afterwards, and probably more so than the students do. That's just my spin on this. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying I would imagine that. And this feels like she was exhausted. And maybe that is the hallmark that says that's because she was their teacher. She was like the voice of the divine to help bring them each a lesson. And they, to their credit, they got it. And to their credit, they actually, I feel like they are pretty bummed out. That it took getting to the end of the relationship and a fiery, lightning bolt at that for them to actually learn the lesson. Now, I don't know if it's both of them that are, still head over heels in love with her. I do have to look at this a little bit because they're so prominent in this story. So I have to believe that this is a big part of the story. So can we just ask, let's change decks. And can I just see the individual, the X that was the Seven of Wands? It seems like he learned something. It seems like he also is looking at obstacles differently. Okay, so we have the Justice card. He may be the one who thinks he really blew it with her, that he did a big injustice in some way that he handled the relationship with her. He may be saying, I'll never get her back. And I know that. I'll never be able to undo what I did. But I have definitely learned, I'm going to have to walk away from this. Yeah, Three of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so his back is turned because he says, I'll never get her back. She'd never forgive me. She'd never have faith with me or truth with me. He could be a Libra. And forgive me, I don't read for genders, but we do have a masculine coming across on that card, so we're going to say he. So I don't know how he thinks he did something wrong, but he says she would never sit down and have a truthful conversation with me again. It's just, yeah, in that present moment energy that he's in, he's just looking at it for what it is. With that strength, I feel like the depth of his emotions and respect for her is off the charts. But holy hell, he thinks that something went horribly awry, and it's the baseline of trust. Nine of Pentacles. He sees her as somebody so incredibly powerful, so incredibly respectable. So like she has built her life fully on her own. Maybe that's the other element to this, is like he has so much respect for her in this present moment. He sees her as powerful, he sees her as wise, and he sees her as very independent, very much like, I'm here and she got her own thing, is independent. That's why I love her. Yeah, he definitely sees her as amazing. Okay, let me take a look at that Page of Swords, the one who's doing some kind of spying. Okay, so he's the one who seems to have hope that maybe I'll get a do-over with her. I see her doing really great. I'm super attracted to her. I just want peace with her. Okay, so he's the one who's got like I think I could get back with her. There's also more passion here. Action of Cups. I'd like to come forward toward her again and offer her. This is the Knight of Cups. I'd like to, come forward and offer her, some emotions. And this is the Judgment card, which is liberation card. And it's like, maybe I could, perhaps, maybe she will have forgotten what happened, or maybe there can be a do-over. This is the reconciliation card. Let me ask this. For the Two of Cups, who thinks that she's their Two of Cups? Is it both of them, or is it one of them? Can we just see? I'm just trying to figure out, because one definitely thinks she'll never talk to me again. The other one thinks, I think if we could have a do-over. The Two of Cups energy is the one who sees her as the Nine of Pentacles, which is the one who says she'll never have anything to do with me again. Interesting. So in some ways, the one who says this is a hopeless cause, what I did wrong, what went wrong, she'll never trust me again. I'll never sit down and have a cup of tea with her, a truthful conversation with her, because maybe, what did you do? Sorry, I do have to ask. Why, with the amount of respect you have for her and the amount of like, you think it's totally over. I said, what did you do? King of Wands. So I came toward her with like, all my love. Okay, so you were King of Wands. That looks really nice, actually. Page of Cups, and then I only told her half the truth. Here's that teacup again. So for him, that Libra energy of the Justice card, we keep getting teacups. So we know there was definitely something about truth that was only half truths. Four of Cups, that's a card of illusions. He may have left her high and dry, disappointed her. There was some kind of illusions. Knight of Pentacles, the World card. This makes me think he had a double life. Sorry, it's just that I know it's a big drama, but it looks like he was hoping to keep that from her for a very long time. Why do we have two different worlds? Well, technically three, but why is he keeping two different things on two different sides? So I'm thinking he had a double life. The fact that truth comes in so heavily. So look, I don't even want to go down that road. If he says she'll never trust me, I would say probably right, because you're not trustworthy. So I'm not really sure. I mean, but ironically, he's the one who says she was my Two of Cups. Can I just ask, is that why you tried things with her, even if you shouldn't have? 10 of Wands. Let me get one more. This King of Wands, it hints that like he was so in love with her, wanting to change his life, wanting to change his world, but maybe tried monkey branching his way into a new relationship because he was like very heavily burdened, wanted to, like he already had a connection, but wanted to grab a hold of another one before he should have. We have a Queen of Wands, we have the Moon, we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah. There's what's hidden, right? So he's like, oh, she was a Queen of Wands. I wanted to be with her. I just wanted to keep it quiet, keep it hidden from her. That maybe I was also a King of Pentacles, because I wanted to be a King of Wands, right? I wanted to be a King of Wands to her Queen of Wands. I met her. I wanted to be with her. So I just went ahead and went all in, right? Conveniently failing to mention, although I want to be a King of Wands to you, I'm already a King of Pentacles elsewhere. You shouldn't be two kings. And this says he was trying to do two lives. Okay. I can see why it would have been like, whoo, if there's ever I'm thinking that those lightning strikes that we saw were probably the way she looked at them. That those, when I'm thinking that this is like the zap of like, even if you don't have all the words to describe how you feel about something, your eyes will say it. And I'm thinking for him to say she was the person of my life, but she'll never trust me. She'll never believe anything I say. I can see why. I'm pretty sure you're right about that. That's the only maybe honest thing you've said, other than you really loved her. But man, why'd you do her dirty like that? Why'd you try to keep it secret? Oh, look, all I can say is if this is what happened to this queen, she's moved on and she's good, right? But we're seeing what happened with them. They have not forgotten her. They will never forget her. And particularly the one that actually, that she was the love of their life, the one who did her basically the wrongest, if I can say it that way. They are the ones who say, I'll never be able to fix this with her. But they are also the ones who have the most respect for her, the most love for her, for what it's worth. Ooh, I don't like this story at all. So sorry that this is the one we got. I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm just like super uncomfortable right now. So let's just briefly, since we went at this for the one character, the one who thinks that I might get another shot with her. I really want to reconcile with her. I've been spying on her. Yeah, I totally want another go with her. They could be a Scorpio. It doesn't have to be. Why do you think you can have another go at this with her? 7 of Cups, because it could still work. I mean, maybe there's like another way to approach this. Okay, but what happened between the two of you? Page of Pentacles. I just didn't put in enough energy. I was just being a page back then. 5 of Wands, Fool card. Yeah, they come across as pretty scattered, but kind of like jovial and kind of like, hey, I'd love to go talk to her again. I don't think she wants anything to do with them, as we already saw, but it does look like they would love another shot because she's still gorgeous. They were at one point in time, I don't know if they left, they went in a different direction. Their life was scattered. They moved for a job, whatever this was. I feel almost like this person could be more of a good time guy or gal. They feel like they're very new to life. Like this is their first time here, like they're a young soul, because that Fool card is card 0. That's a baby of the major arcana. And so I'm wondering if they're just like, kind of like a happy, like, I'm still trying stuff out for the first time. I've never been here before. I'm kind of like a new human. And they're real impressed with her also. They really want another chance with her. They feel a little bit more mature. They really think she's hot. But they have a great optimistic viewpoint of being with her. I don't even think that they care if she shot some lightning bolts in their direction. Like, I don't see them being even like embarrassed by that. So now let's just turn our attention only to our lead character, right? Because it seems like she's in this place where even though there are people still thinking so much about her, it does not mean that she needs to deal with them. Okay, but we do have a 3 of Cups. And maybe this represents all 3 of them. Maybe these are 3 souls who have, decided to interact with each other in this lifetime. And so indeed they have done this. Look, this is the solar plexus chakra, which is the house of willpower. And with the 3 of Cups, this can either be, maybe she will talk to each of them again in this lifetime. 4 of Swords in the reverse, the heart chakra here. It's either that or she has healed her heart chakra and she is so ready to start dating other people. She started, she's like willing other relationships into her life. Let me see. This is celebratory. This is nice energy. 6 of Swords. She is not going back to anybody. We've seen that again and again. This is her like saying, hell to the no. I told you I'm done with exes. They lost me. They lost chances with me. I already did my whatever my little contract with soulmates was. And the one botched it with me because they were too immature. The other one botched it with me because they weren't honorable or honest. Even if they loved me, they didn't do right by me. So they can go sit in their corners and think about that. I'm moving on though. I don't have to sit in a corner. There's no timeout chair for me. I am sailing on. My third eye is super open. I realize maybe I met them for a reason. My heart, I got nothing to be ashamed of. I got nothing to be sad over, and I don't owe anybody nothing. I'm ready for other lovers. And I know that this world is full of beautiful, sexy people. Bring me somebody else, universe, or let me sail on into someone else's arms. Good on you. This particular, like, I hope that every character that ever, goes through painful endings, I hope that they always have that dialogue with themselves. Like, big deal. So I signed up. I interacted with somebody. Maybe they were past life soulmate or whatever. It was that contract. Maybe I helped them out. Cool. But guess what? I'm done helping them out now. They blew it with me. Maybe they learned a lesson out of what happened with me. Cool. Don't care. Not my problem. I'm not the one who had the lesson to learn, except my lesson is to keep moving on. Keep on keeping on. Princess of Wands. Her heart is so ready for some passion. Her heart is excited about what's up ahead for her. This is the spark of new inspiration. She's, I'm feeling sexy when I hear you say my name. Baby, I feel it's. Oh, sorry. I'm hearing naughty girl. Sorry, it took me that long. When you see my brain, obviously you can probably see smoke coming out my ears, is because I'm trying to fast forward a piece of music to get to the title of the song, because otherwise I have to sing all the way through it in my head. So that's what I was hearing, is Beyonce. Tonight I'll be your naughty girl. Okay, and this is the house of emotion and sensuality. Admittedly, this is that sacral chakra coming up. We got the Two of Coins. She's also promising herself, I will date whomever I choose. I will keep my options open until I see what I really want. What's sailing into my life? Maybe I'll be interested, maybe I won't. If they're attractive, cool. If I want to date somebody, sure. If somebody else asks me out and the first person didn't lock it down with me anyway, I'm not holding space for anybody that doesn't put all their energy into me. Like, we have to be on equal footing. So I don't give my loyalty to someone who hasn't earned it yet. I don't give my fealty to anybody unless there's a reason to, which means it would have to be equal. Otherwise, I'm a free agent. I sail my own ship. She definitely has like this attitude of, I owe nobody nothing. We get the Seven of Wands. This is that crown chakra. And I was going to say, this is starting to sound just a little bit like she got a tiny little, spicy little chip on her shoulder. And although we can kind of understand why, there's always that concern, like never to let a pendulum swing too far in any direction. This crown chakra is whispering to her, like, your higher self knows. There's not really any blockages, so you don't have to make big proclamations. You will love again. You are actively open to that, but you don't. This just says, like, she doesn't have to feel like there's blockages to happiness, or that she has to, fight for something or predispose herself to saying, like, I'm not given to anybody unless I feel like it. It'll only be like one nugget of energy at a time that matches whatever nugget of energy they're given to me, and I'll pick and choose whatever I want. This is a little bit like, hang on though. Don't get too, I don't know, like, don't imagine that anything's even going to be hard. If we're going to project anything for our future, why don't we always project just the best for ourselves instead of projecting like, here's how it's going to be. Probably there will be obstacles. Probably there will be more than one person in my future, and I'll have to pick and choose who I'm going to deal with. And, they'll have to wait on me. Like, why fantasize about anything that's hard at all? Why not always fantasize about the best, easiest flow of amazing stuff coming toward us in life? And I do think that we should point out, because normally I would always read any of our kings, queens, emperors, and empresses in the reverse. I would always read them as like in a karmic cycle. But here's the crazy part. She dealt with two different people, both of which blew it with her in valid ways, right? both of which are hurting over the fact that they can't be with her because they blew it with her. But it did leave her possibly tainted by these experiences. And we do want to gently like point this out so that she doesn't end up soiled by any of this. And there is that energy. And I would normally always read it like, okay, now she's got a karmic cycle. Sometimes when we deal with other people, and even though she's, brave enough to sail on from this, it doesn't mean that she didn't get dirty. Just like if you pick up, okay, Aries rolled in deer poo today, and I did not know it until I snuggled him, which was a nice surprise for mommy, right? Because I'm like, something doesn't smell tidy fresh right now on my dog's neck. And I was like, oh, Aries. And so I had to wash him. But when you pet a stinky dog who put on his deer perfume, guess what? Now his deer perfume is on you as well. You got that stink on you. You didn't do anything to deserve it, but there it is. And I feel like that's the equivalent of this. And this is what we see right now. If she has some stinky deer perfume on her from those two individuals that she dealt with, it is just that it has done this little insidious thing where she's starting to picture obstacles in her life instead of just pure positive stuff. And this is her higher self coming in to say, hey, hang on, check yourself just a little bit. Don't take on don't get spoiled by anything, or soiled, I should say. Don't take on the stinky deer perfume. Know where the stink's coming from, because right now, if you've got it on your hand, you're going to go touch other stuff in your house, and then the other stuff in your house now stinks. You keep spreading it. Yeah, we've got this is her higher self saying, pause for just a second and start think about the best relationship you could ever dream of having. Think about all the details. You love your neck kissed. Picture a lover who gives great neck kisses. You love to be the little spoon. Picture a great lover coming into your life who is going to cuddle you. Use your higher self to call in the relationship that you would choose, that will choose you as well. No blockages, no problems, no obstacles, no complications, no two different people coming in, because she's already known two different people. Maybe that's why she's dealing with this, like manifesting almost two different choices, and it's going to be a juggling act and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be hard to figure out. This is, don't do it to yourself. Feminine, you don't deserve any of that. Picture exactly what you want. I mean, unless you want two different people, in which case, okay, but call in the easiest, best for yourself, especially from your higher self. And I love the fact that her higher self is getting involved in this, because I think it's such a like a sage message from the universe. Like, hey, it doesn't have to be hard. We know it was hard before with both of your previous relationships. And even though, the one still like will love you for the rest of his freaking life, the one who really badly messed this up with you, he will be in love with you for the rest of his life. It's hard for him. Does not need to be hard for you though. So don't imagine that just because you've known complicated, stressful, that now that's what love has to be. And now when you manifest, you should be open to that. Hell no. No complications. These two were examples of what you shouldn't have had to deal with. You are not in the timeout chair. So feminine, don't call in anything complicated. You don't have to do that to yourself. Call in that sexy, sexy Gemini. I know, I like that one because I like I like the kindness of all of this. We've got the Princess of Coins. We got the Three of Coins in the reverse. If she's being gently nudged to call in exactly what she wants from her higher self, the other piece of like encouragement here is, and don't plan on over giving right away. Plan on just giving a normal amount of, I'd like to talk to somebody new who is maybe the person that I would have chosen to meet next. My heart will be comfortable just getting to know somebody and starting a real, genuine, like heart to heart. This is just the first little step of dialogue, conversation, but something that you can rely on. But it says, don't project into the future about then what you're going to have to give or what the future will look like, because in fact, she could very well meet somebody who, heck, she can meet somebody who's incredibly wealthy. She's never going to work another day in her life. She could meet somebody who, has a whole different lifestyle than what she could have ever imagined. But it says don't over project. Call in the kind of love that you want to receive, meaning the way you want somebody to treat you. But don't get to the specifics of all of the details about, okay, and then I'll work at this job and they'll be working at that job, and together we'll put together our money, and in 15 years maybe we can put a down payment on a house, and then it'll probably not be the house that we really want, but it'll be a starter home, and blah blah blah. This says no, 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 no. Don't start using your willpower for stuff you don't want and project what the two of you will have to do together. Because remember, just call in the way you want somebody to treat you. Start there and imagine letting your heart get to know somebody else. But all of the other details about maybe the nuts and bolts of what they might bring to the table, what you'll match them in, how the two of you will figure out that perfect balancing ratio in a relationship of what we give to each other. Don't pinpoint all of that just yet. Don't manifest that, because you could be, she's a good manifester is what we really have. I mean, if I didn't make that clear, that's what the underlying message is. She's a great manifester. Do not manifest anything that is less than what you would want, but also don't, sometimes we can only think based on like our own, where our vision can go to a certain, like, if she's never met somebody that is super, super wealthy, she couldn't picture herself with somebody super, super wealthy because she has not met somebody with that level of wealth. So therefore she will not be open to that, and she will be manifesting at a limiting level where it's like, oh no, I'll work in this job, they'll work in that job, we'll probably struggle to make ends meet, but we'll be in love. I could see myself with that. And the universe is like, whoa, what do you mean? No, stop. Just start here. Only manifest the first little part, and then kind of let somebody match you and call in who you want to meet emotionally, but then and what you want to start giving, but then let the two of you work out the rest, and don't put limits on what the rest of life could look like, because you might be cheating yourself out of, and I'm just using money as an example because, it's tangible, and obviously it's, as much as we all hate it, it makes the world go round. I'm not saying that, ooh, she should be with a really rich person, then she'd be really happy. But it is just saying, don't put any blockage on by manifesting limitations. That's what this whole message has been for her. So universe, with all of that, like nudging and all of this, like trying to give her this encouragement, is it because she's got somebody coming in pretty darn fast? 7 of Cups, the universe is like, listen, like we said before, she's a master manifester, whether or not she knows it. She may manifest daytime and evening. Those could be her 2 times of tremendous manifestation. Could be specifically if she's like looking in, at the sky when she's like relaxing. That could be a time where her brain gets very active, and that's when she, or maybe we should say when her crown chakra is the most open, and that's when she tends to connect to other individuals and call them in. She's calling in her wolf pack. That 5 of Wands, no wonder the universe is like, you do realize you could call in any particular member of a wolf pack. So call in the one you really want. I really like this. I think that somebody is coming in real soon for her. But that's why the universe keeps saying 5s and 7s are numbers of change. So her life is in this moment of transition. And that's why it's like, whoa, you want to pick a lane and you want to pick a good one, and you don't want to limit yourself, and you want to ask for the baseline things that you want, and then see, like how you would grow from there with another person. I really liked this because there's so much positivity in this for her, and it actually just made her life so much easier. Yes, ask for what you want, but not to such an extent that you could actually undermine your own possible beautiful outcomes. No, you don't have to take exes back. Yes, there are people that you maybe had a lot of stress with, and guess what? They think of you and will for the rest of their lives. They are the ones who you helped to change. And so it was never wasted energy. Even if you didn't get much out of it, they did. and they won't ever forget you. You will be on their mind for the rest of their lives. That's their burden to bear, but that's also a gift that they got a chance to interact with somebody like you. And for what it's worth, that one really loved you. I think all of that is like, hopefully that is very soothing for her and allows her to just move forward and manifest better for herself without any twinge of like hurt, pain, or frustration still lingering. So really nice. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you guys so much. It's really good to see you. Hey, sweet RS Love with Juno Wild, Black Butterfly 25. Hi, sweetheart. Electro Beats. Hi, sweetheart. Yes, you are so right. Dear perfume, dogs everywhere will want to wear it. Gigi, I am her. So wonderful to see you, babe. Hi, Kim Pruitt. Thank you, love. I hope you had a great day too, honey. Small TV. Hi, honey. Zion's gamming. How are you? That's great. You were just listening to Miss Independent. That's awesome. Hi, Yvonne. Thank you for being here. Myra J. Hey, darling. Oh, sweet. That's wonderful. Astrape. Yes, that's awesome. All things used to describe things related to lightning and stars from the original Greek word. I love that. I really loved Greece. I spent a lot of time in Greece. That's the country I know the best. I've been to Greece 8 times and I've driven the whole mainland. I didn't, of course, get to all the islands, but because there's so many, but I definitely have my favorites. But I never got to any of the Ionian Islands, but oh, Greece is very dear to my heart. Colleen Oakley, sweet dreams. Air Goddess 925. Yes, this one was all about new love. Kimmy, hey. I'm glad you were chuckling. Uh, thank you, sweet. I didn't know who sang that. I could not place the voice. I didn't know that was Anna Kendrick. Thank you for telling me that. Buongiorno, Christy. How are you, sweetie? Ms. Jamie, Sweet Carolina. Soft as Eve. Sister Sylvie, I am delighted you got to a live again tonight. Thank you for being here. Yes, Anisha Chateau. Yes, indeed. I have been to Catania. I really liked Catania. I took a little flight from Malta to Catania. Um, I was sad though that I should have gone to the opera house there, right? But I didn't get to. I didn't have enough time, and I got captivated by Taormina. So I missed Palermo. Also, I only had a week in Sicily, and I just fell so in love with it. Sicily, I I feel like Greece and Sicily are two of my most favorite places in the world. So yes, I love the fact that you're from Catania. That's beautiful. Hi, Lori. Felicia Rocks. April Fresh. Hi, honey. Lauren Coe. The Cataclysmic Awakening. Jeannie Vale. The lovely T. You were first in the house. T, is that you? I feel like you. I know that a couple of you guys have changed your names, or maybe YouTube changed them. But are you the T that I'm thinking you are? I think so. Anyway, great to see you, sweetheart. Uh, AJSRVIM. Hi, sweetheart. You guys, I'm so honored to have been able to get to know some of you guys throughout these years. I am so honored. I know pretty much everybody in the chat right now. I've known you guys for so long. Creepy but beautiful. Hi. Sorry, I missed you there. Zona, wonderful to see you, love. Oh, I bet someday Anisha Chetu, I would love to go back to Sicily. It's just with Aries. With Aries, you know, I wouldn't go without him. And it's significantly harder. It's not impossible, but it's significantly harder. And I would never go. I couldn't board Aries. I couldn't leave him. I just can't. He's too much a part of my life. If I don't hear him snorting like I just did in the background, I'm just not at peace. RS Love, thank you, sweetheart. Myra J is Tammy Johnson. Awesome. Yeah, I noticed that some of you guys have different names. And I know that sometimes like it's because we have handles, and then sometimes also YouTube has been doing different changes and stuff. So I'll probably little by little I'll piece together the multiple names, because I know like Voyager 2 is also Baby Yoda. You know, it takes me a little bit to piece things together. uh, Yuri, I am so honored. You're in Egypt also? That's so wonderful. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel I've wanted to go to Egypt. You have no idea. I was this close once upon a time. I was in Paris, and they had this big billboard in the like as you were leaving Charles de Gaulle, and you know, kind of like the underpass and everything. And I saw that they had like a $500 round trip flight to Egypt. And I was this close to turning back around and just doing it, because I thought, when am I going to get to do this in life? And I was like, oh my God. But I could not. I had I couldn't change plans. I just couldn't. But I almost did anyway. So thank you. That makes me so happy to know that you're there. And it makes me so happy to make me feel connected to the rest of the world. That makes me so happy. Zona, you understand. Yeah. I mean, Aries would have to go. And he's such a great traveler. Aries is a fabulous traveler. He's always, you know, traveled around in the US with me since he was born. And so he loves to go places. I mean, absolutely loves it. It doesn't matter if it's a 17-hour car ride. He's, you know, checking out the, you know, all of the different you know, geography that we're driving through, and he just loves it. So I wouldn't have any worries about taking him. It's just all the, you know, vaccinations and doggy passports and, you know, all of the things that you have to do, bringing an animal into another country, and sometimes there's quarantine segments and stuff. So thank you so much, Yuri. And likewise, I welcome you into the United States if you make it here at some point in time. I know we live very far apart, but it's there's so many beautiful things to see in this world. I love it. I love knowing that I'm so close to everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. Send you lots of love, you guys. All right, you guys, I'll see you again very soon. Bye.